A very warm and privileged welcome to the dignitaries of the day, Dr. Nirmal Joshi, MD and Fellow of the American College of Physicians from US, and to Dr. Pratik Bhatnagar, Chairman, Department of Cardiac Surgery and Chief Cardiac Surgeon, Virinchi Hospitals. Today is very momentous on account of the fact that we are doing a very special session in terms of sharing the insights about heart disease and the ways to tackle heart disease, especially among Indians and persons of Indian origin across the globe. Dr. Nirmal Joshi has been doing pioneering work in this area. Though he settled in US, the cause of medical education and propounding and sharing the various causes of cure and prevention are much dearer to his heart, and he has taken up this mission and he is making a film, The Brown Heart, and we are so privileged that he has selected Dr. Pratik Bhatnagar, an Indian and the only Indian and a Hyderabadi, and also our star consultant from Virinchi Hospitals, to be featured in this exclusive Brown Heart film. So I want that we all acknowledge this, and we should feel extremely privileged and honored to have this kind of recognition extended. And I want you all to welcome with loud applause. So first of all, I have volunteered to be the MC for the day, given the fact that we are dealing with a very important occasion. And I extend a very warm welcome to the President of our institution, Dr. Sai Ravishankar, to come on the dais, please. I call upon our Chairman, Department of Cardiac Surgery, Dr. Pratik Bhatnagar, to come on the dais, please. I also extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Nirmal Joshi. Joshi ji, to please come and take a seat on the dais. Here and across the globe are at a strikingly high risk rate of heart disease. Research indicates that South Asians have a risk of heart disease that is up to 4 times higher than other communities, and one of the highest in the world. Further, heart disease among them occurs early and is much more severe than other communities. We are often seeing disturbingly situations where young Indians, often in the prime of their youth, losing lives when they are in their early 30s and 40s. So if we are able to diagnose and then treat, we can prevent loss of precious lives. The reasons for such severe disease and poor outcomes are many and include high fat accumulation in unusual parts of the body, a very high incidence of diabetes, poor dietary habits, low levels of exercise, and several genetic and cultural factors. The silver lining to this black cloud is that many of the contributing factors are preventable. 2 physician creators, Doctors Nirmal Joshi and Renal Joshi, his spouse, are creating a full-length 110 minutes documentary film on this topic, where they are filming human stories of heart disease as well as survival and hope. They are also filming interviews with leading heart experts across the world. They have already completed interviews in the UK and US, and Dr. Nirmal is now traveling across India to do the same here. We anticipate a June 2024 time frame for completion and are in active conversations with OTT platforms and other outlets for the release of the film. The sole purpose of the film, there is no financial return expected or planned. If financial returns do occur, funds will be redirected to healthcare improvement through established legal non-profit charitable processes. So this is in short a brief introduction to the very illustrious luminary Dr. Nirmal Joshi and to his accomplished and noble mission. I would also like to share with you a brief intro about Dr. Pratik Bhatnagar. Dr. Pratik Bhatnagar has secured 10 gold medals during his MBBS, a very accomplished doctor for over last 25 years. He has been the pioneer of BIVA, which is the bilateral internal mammary artery being used in treating and operating patients who require a coronary bypass surgery. Most of us are aware that CABG involves taking and extracting vein grafts from the legs or veins and then putting those things over there. And the life of such vein grafting is only valid for some 10 years or so, and they become blocked once again. But Dr. Bhatnagar has attained a rare skill and so much as proprietarized it. Just like it is when you go out and ask for a photocopy, you ask for a Xerox copy. Now BIVA is Dr. Bhatnagar and Dr. Bhatnagar is BIVA. So much so in the world. Because let me share with you, ladies and gentlemen, this pioneering way of doing surgery is not yet become very popular even in the so-called medically advanced country like United States. Australia is trying to emulate us, but they are also often in touch with Dr. Bhatnagar to make sure that they do it the right way. And he also has a very illustrious daughter, Dr. Shubhi Bhatnagar, who is equally qualified, MBBS, MS, MCH, following in the footsteps of her father. And both, it is a very rare instance where in the world you have a father and daughter who are surgeons practicing in the same field. So we are extremely proud that both of them associate with our institution. And I think the benefits of being Dr. Bhatnagar would explain by himself. I don't want to steal any thunder because I can't create the thunder that he can do. And I would now request Dr. Bhatnagar to speak first and elucidate on the benefits of BIVA, and later we'll hear from Dr. Nirmal Joshi about the mission, and later there will be a felicitation of the guests, and Dr. Ravi Shankar will propose a vote of thanks. So, ఇప్పటిదాకా నేను చెప్పిన దానికి తెలుగులో ఏం చెప్తున్నానంటే, మీడియా మిత్రులందరికీ స్వాగతం సుస్వాగతం. ఈ రోజున విరించి హాస్పిటల్స్లో డాక్టర్ ప్రతీక్ భట్నాగర్ గారు IMA అనే పద్ధతి ద్వారా చాలా అత్యంత సురక్షితమైన విధంగా హృద్రోగానికి సంబంధించిన చికిత్స విధానాన్ని వారు కనుగొని ఉన్నారు. ఆ విధానం ద్వారా ఎవరికైనా సరే మనం బైపాస్ సర్జరీ అని అంటారు, దాన్ని చేసినట్టయితే దాదాపు 20 ఏళ్ల దాకా తిరుగు లేకుండా, ఏ రకమైన కాంప్లికేషన్స్ లేకుండా వారు వారి జీవితాన్ని యథాతథంగా కొనసాగించే శక్తి వాళ్ళకు ఉంటుంది. మామూలుగా చేసుకునేటటువంటి శస్త్రచికిత్సలో కాళ్ళలోంచి కానీ చేతుల్లోంచి కానీ మరి రక్తనాళాలని తీసి దాన్ని హృదయానికి వేస్తారు. అలా కాకుండా మన చెస్ట్లోనే ఉండేటటువంటి మామరీ ఆర్టరీ రైట్ అండ్ లెఫ్ట్ రెండింటినీ కూడా వారు వాడి, ఎంత మేరకు వాడాలో అంత మేరకే వాడి దాన్ని హృదయానికి అమర్చడం ద్వారా చాలా అద్భుతమైనటువంటి ఫలితాల్ని చూశారు. పేషెంట్స్ కూడా దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే అనవసరంగా కాళ్ళ మీద కానీ చేతుల మీద కానీ కట్స్ లేకుండా, ఇన్ఫెక్షన్స్ లేకుండా ఉండడం ద్వారా చాలా శీఘ్రంగా వారు వారి కార్యకలాపాలను చేసుకునేటువంటి అవకాశం ఉంది. మామూలు శస్త్రచికిత్సలో 10 ఏళ్ళకి మళ్ళీ చేయాల్సిన పరిస్థితి ఏర్పడుతుంది. కానీ ఈ బీమా పద్ధతి ద్వారా చేసిన చికిత్సలో 20 ఏళ్ల దాకా కూడా ఎలాంటి బ్లాకేజెస్ లేకుండా పేషెంట్స్ చక్కగా వాళ్ళ జీవన శైలిని కొనసాగించే విధంగా ఈ శస్త్రచికిత్స ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. డాక్టర్ నిర్మల్ జోషి గారు అమెరికాలో సుప్రసిద్ధ వైద్య నిపుణులు. వారు జోషి హెల్త్ ఫౌండేషన్ అన్న సంస్థను నిర్వహిస్తున్నారు. దాని ద్వారా ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా ఉన్నటువంటి రోగాలకు వాటి చికిత్సా విధానాలని కూడా వారు మన మామూలుగా సఫరర్స్ అంటే ఎవరైతే ఇబ్బంది పడ్డారో డాక్టర్స్ వైద్య నిపుణుల దగ్గర నుంచి ఆ కథల్ని, ఆ విజయగాథల్ని సేకరించి చిత్రీకరించి పుస్తకాలు రాసి ఈ యొక్క మనోధైర్యాన్ని నింపడానికి జోషి ఫౌండేషన్ ద్వారా ఎంతో ఎనలేని కృషిని చేస్తున్నారు. వారు ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి బ్రౌన్ హార్ట్ అన్నటువంటి సినిమాలో ఇండియాలో కేవలం డాక్టర్ ప్రతీక్ భట్నాగర్ గారిని మాత్రమే ఎంచుకున్నారు. వారి చికిత్సా విధానాలకు సంబంధించినటువంటి షూటింగ్ మన విరిచ్ హాస్పిటల్లో చేశారు. వారు కూడా వారి తాలూకు అనుభవాలని పంచుకుంటారు. ఓవర్ టు డాక్టర్ ప్రతీక్ సార్.
It's very, very common. You must have seen so many news. This person was doing treadmill, young man, and died. This person was running and died. This person was going to the gym and died. So this is all happening because there's a very high incidence of heart disease in India. Dr. Nirmal Joshi has taken this great step of trying to go into this problem, and he is speaking to the top doctors all over the world and sharing, getting their ideas, getting their knowledge, and trying to understand why this is all happening, and trying to find ways and means how we can win over it so that we can give a better quality of life to Indians living not only in India but all over the world. It's a great step, and it's a very, very important step. We have to be all very, very happy with this pioneering work that Dr. Nirmal Joshi is doing. As far as my work here, I'm happy that he has chosen to talk to me and share my views. So we have discussed and shared my views with him for the film. So what I'm basically doing is, as we all know, in India, we are not a very super rich country, although our economy is all the time improving thanks to our Prime Minister. So we basically, in India, whether it is a patient or an insurance company or an organization, we can pay for our treatment like a bypass surgery only once. We don't have so much of money to keep going again and again. So we have to have a treatment which is going to last us the lifetime. Suppose we have a patient who needs a bypass surgery, he should get a treatment which is going to last throughout his life. And that treatment is what I call Bima bypass surgery. Bima means B-I-M-A. This is a method of bypass surgery which is not being followed very commonly, and we are doing it routinely in Hyderabad in almost all our patients who want to go ahead with Bima. So in Bima bypass surgery, why it is so good? It is good because in 90% patients, even after 20 years, this bypass surgery is working. Why is it like that? Because Bima, that is arteries, spare arteries running inside the chest, are resistant to the aging process of atherosclerosis. So if they are used in a bypass surgery, they just work forever. The leg veins, on the other hand, they work for an average 10 years, as Mr. Satyanarayana has just said. So my request to all Indians is, settle in Hyderabad or outside, if you are advised of bypass surgery, please do not be scared. First of all, bypass surgery in today's date is a very simple and straightforward operation with less than 1% risk to life. And secondly, one should always go ahead with the Bima bypass surgery because it will give long life to the patient. Also, we do this surgery without open heart surgery. Almost 100% Bima bypass surgeries we are doing without open heart surgery, which basically means we don't cut the heart, we don't stop the heart, and we don't use the artificial heart lung machine. We do the surgery on the beating heart, and with that we are able to exclude all the important risk factors like stroke, kidney damage, liver damage, all these issues. So it's an interesting, important day here, and I once again welcome Dr. Nirmal Joshi, and thank you all for your patient listening.
And thank you very much to Virinchi Hospitals, Satyanarayan ji and Dr. Ravi Shankar for allowing me the opportunity to not only film in this absolutely beautiful location. This is a wonderful hospital. My first visit to Hyderabad in a very long time. I think the last time I was in Hyderabad was 35 years ago. So what a beautiful place this is, and how much progress hospital systems have done is really pretty typified by Virinchi Hospital here. So thank you very much for having me. It's very kind. Like the group said, one of the first things that I've been struck as I've been thinking about, as I've been traveling across the country, I've been in Delhi, Lucknow, Bangalore, Hyderabad, then heading to Chennai, Pune and Mumbai, is that how much progress our country has done in cardiac care, actually in healthcare overall, but in cardiac care in particular. One thing I say publicly whenever I get the chance is that India has unequivocally some of the best doctors in the world, some of the absolute best doctors in the world. Whether they stay in the country, like Dr. Bhatnagar, or they've left the country and practicing anywhere in the world, whether it be in the UK, the USA, or anywhere, Australia, what have you, we make a name for ourselves like almost no one does, and I think we are very, very proud of that. Now, in terms of the documentary, it's called The Brown Heart. The reason I chose to make this was, I've done about 35, 40 years of healthcare. I've taken care of patients, I've taken care of people. When I take care of a person, I impact that life, that one life. Similarly, when Dr. Bhatnagar takes care of a person, he impacts that one life, right? Very important life, but one life at a time. And I thought there was a time in our lives when, or in my life for sure, that we needed to do something bigger. We needed to do something where millions of lives could be impacted simultaneously, which is what led us to conceptualizing the concept of the brown heart. The reason we call this the brown heart is that the Indian heart is unique, right? As they say, हमारा दिल थोड़ा नाजुक है, थोड़ा कमजोर है, right? It's slightly different. And the reason it's different is that it is well known now that a lot of us suffer from heart attacks very, very early in life, and many of us die from heart attack very early in life. That's a shame. It should not be happening in today's day and age, this many of us. 50% of heart attacks, half of heart attacks across the world in Indians occur in people less than 50 years of age. Can you imagine that? 50% heart attacks, I'll repeat, in Indians occur in less than 50 years of age. You probably heard last year there were a whole slew of deaths in Garba that were reported, in people who were 19 years old, in people who were 25, 30 years old, sudden deaths from heart attacks. Dr. Bhatnagar was sharing with me earlier, the youngest patient he's operated on for a bypass graft surgery is only 19 years old. Think about that. Someone who's 19 years old getting a heart attack, right? That has to stop. That's why we're in the process of creating the brown heart. Too often, we just go out and educate people. We talk to people. We say, hey, you should eat better. You should exercise better. You should do this. You should do that. But no one's listening to us, right? No one's really listening to us. So we thought we needed something on a much bigger scale, on a scale that looks like a real film. We all love films, right? So to do this in a scale that looks like a real film. And so we got funding from charity sources about 4 months ago, and we began to create an entire film around this so important topic. So between my wife and I, we have now traveled to different parts of the United States, to the different parts of the UK, to Birmingham, to Edinburgh, Scotland. We've gone everywhere to talk to people like Dr. Bhatnagar, to talk to experts across the globe, and to also capture human stories. What happened to people when their loved one got a heart attack? What did they do or not do in their lives to get a heart attack, right? It is so important, and then we are putting it together in the form of a beautiful story that I hope will be very, very engaging, will be something that people will be able to look at and say, wow, I did not know that. And perhaps the most important part of this, which will be mission accomplished if we are able to do this, is that the last third of the film, 1/3 of the film, is focused on what can you do about this problem, right? And this is not just talking down to people saying, आपको exercise करनी है, आपको diet better खानी है. Everyone says, yeah, the whole world tells me that, but how do I actually do it? I can't regularly exercise, I have pressures of life, I can't eat healthy for a variety of reasons, I'm traveling, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So we distill it down to say, here's how you start, right? When you make a change in habit, start real small. We've talked to habit experts, we've talked to other people. So we dumb it down to being able to take it back to the audience, to be able to say, hey, if only I could start with one or two things that could change my life, these are the one or two things that they ought to be, right? So that's the goal of the film. I'm delighted. I can't tell you the warmth and hospitality extended by you folks is second to none. I've been absolutely humbled and blown away by the love and care that you folks have shown. Dr. Bhatnagar is a lot as brilliant then and just as brilliant now, except he's done a whole lot of beautiful things between then and now with his hands. And I'm delighted and proud of him as someone who I care for and deeply respect. And I'm glad that the hospital here has recognized his phenomenal talent. And I'll end by saying that in the context of heart surgery, or any surgery for that matter, the more a surgeon does, the better he or she gets, right? And Dr. Bhatnagar has narrowed down to this particular type of surgery called the PMA grafting, which he has absolutely mastered. We were just talking about the fact that how many of these surgeries he has done. At one point, he would do 6 to 7 of these in one day. Sometimes in the US, that is the number done in an entire year with this kind of surgery, right? And he's doing a handful of them every single day. So delighted that we are here, and thank you all for being here and being able to hear about this. We are planning a release for the film sometime in June, or at least completion, I should say, of the film sometime in June. We are talking to at least 2 or 3 streaming platforms, and I'm very optimistic that it will find its way into a streaming platform. This has never been done like this ever in India for sure. Thinking of a docudrama, taking a topic that is critically important and putting it out in a way that people can understand, people can enjoy, and people can take home something that they can change their lives. Thank you very much for having me.
Gentlemen, you have heard Dr. Nirmal Joshi in so many nice terms. It's nothing like storytelling. The art of storytelling is very important because we only relate to stories, and those stories should really pertain to fellow humans who have undergone such kind of difficulties and who have survived. And also we need to understand from the care attendants of those who could make the cut as well, unfortunately, so that learning is very relevant, and contextually it can offer us a perspective. Having said that, I would welcome the audience, the consultants and press to pose any questions to either Dr. Nirmal Joshi or to Dr. Pratik Bhatnagar in terms of further explaining about the procedure or the mission they are embarked upon. Over to you. Any questions? Dr. Pratik?
जो कोविड वैक्सीन्स ली है तब से हार्ट प्रॉब्लम्स बढ़ी हैं, ये कितना सच है?
So the question, I get the heart problems बढ़ी है. So yes and no. Yes, in the sense that there is a very small number of people who have developed जिनको heart की minor problems हुई थी from COVID vaccines, right? However, जब भी किसी चीज़ को आप देखते हैं तो 2 चीज़ें देखते हैं. एक तो हम जो डिनोमिनेटर कहते हैं, न्यूमरेटर कहते हैं, राइट? डिनोमिनेटर मतलब कितने लोगों को लगी कोविड वैक्सीन, और न्यूमरेटर मतलब कितने लोगों को इससे परेशानी हुई या कोई साइड इफेक्ट हुआ या जो भी हुआ. So the number of this proportion is extremely small still. एक कॉमन मिसकंसेप्शन है इंडिया में भी और बाहर भी, दोनों जगह, एक कॉमन मिसकंसेप्शन है कि समहाउ ये जो हम कार्डियक डेथ्स देख रहे हैं या ये सब देख रहे हैं ज़्यादा, जैसे गर्भा की डेथ्स हुई थी या कुछ और हुआ था, ये कॉमन मिसकंसेप्शन है कि ये कोविड की ही वजह से हुआ था। ऐसा नहीं है ना, छोटा सा उसका कंट्रीब्यूशन रहा होगा, आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग दैट, लेकिन हमारी जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं जिनकी वजह से हार्ट अटैक्स हो रहे हैं, दैट हैव बीन देयर वेल बिफोर कोविड, पिछले 10 साल 15 साल 20 साल से, जो कि अब बढ़ा है पिछले 15-20 साल से। लेकिन द इंसिडेंस ऑफ हार्ट डिजीज इंडियंस में, खास तौर से इंडियंस, पाकिस्तानी, बांग्लादेशी या नेपालीज में करीब 2 से 4 गुना है दुनिया की किसी और भी रेस से कंपैरिजन में। तो इन शॉर्ट छोटा सा कंट्रीब्यूशन रहा होगा, लेकिन द मेजॉरिटी ऑफ कंट्रीब्यूशन ये नहीं कह सकते कि कोविड की वजह से हुआ है। मोस्टली हमारा जो जिस तरह से हम लोगों ने अपनी लाइफस्टाइल करी हुई है, चाहे वो फूड हो, चाहे वो एक्सरसाइज हो, चाहे वो स्ट्रेस हो, ये सारी चीज़ें जो है हम एक एक करके फिल्म में इसके अंदर घुसते हैं और बताते हैं। कोविड का कंट्रीब्यूशन, अगर हम कोविड कहते हैं तो एक तरह से एस्केपिस्ट टेंडेंसी होगी, अरे वो तो कोविड की वजह से हो गया था। दैट इज नॉट ट्रू। थैंक यू। एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
People have already, they are already floating about the evening 4 o'clock plans to go and celebrate Valentine's Day. Please don't forget that today also is Vasant Panchami, so let me take this occasion to give you my best wishes on the occasion of Vasant Panchami to those who are celebrating, because learning and sharing is all associated with Goddess Saraswati. So let us do pray that she bestow upon us and make our mind blossom with lots of learning. So, we are able to alleviate the suffering. Especially, I pray that our consultants be bestowed, so they are able to alleviate the pain and suffering of people who come to us. And also, on a humorous note, please be a narcissist. You be your own Valentine. Please love yourself first before you can love somebody. At least that's the way I look at it. Love your heart. This year, I think even in the World Heart Day, we had that theme, right? So, I would now request our team to bring over the felicitation and the memento. Yeah.
What about?
Sir, here, sir. 4 of you, just.
Sure. Sir, little closer. Sir, you can. Sir, here.
Wait, sir.
Oh.
Sir, here, sir.
Profound gratitude for your invaluable contribution to the global dissemination of knowledge on cardiovascular health, encompassing both the cure and prevention of heart-related ailments. We extend our sincere appreciation.
Look here.
Dr. Nirmal Joshi.
Here.
Okay.
Hold it. Sir, hold it. Sir.
Now we are getting the heart attack rate less than 35 years ke India lo chala usna. Maybe because of COVID, but we are getting. Asian countries are very 10 years earlier we are getting the heart attack. So heart attack there are big vessels in the heart. If all 3 vessels are blocked, we send for I am a cardiologist, we send for the bypass surgery.
సో నార్మల్ బైపాస్ సర్జరీ చేస్తే చాలామంది మీరు చూస్తుంటారు ఏంటంటే కాలు నుంచి వెయిన్ తీస్తారు, బట్ వెయిన్ పెట్టి ఆర్టరీకి తీయాలి. సో ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ దాట్ they are putting the left side internal artery and right side internal, both bilateral internal artery to the bypass. దానివల్ల ఏంటవుతుందంటే ఒక 35 ఇయర్స్కే బైపాస్ సర్జరీ చేస్తే లాంగిటివిటీ అంటే ది సర్వైవల్ రేట్ ఎక్కువ వస్తుంది, బికాస్ ఆర్టరీ టు ఆర్టరీ. సో దట్ ఈస్ ది బీమా bilateral internal artery, and one of the gem in that is Pratik Bhattacharya garu. Thanks to Nirmal Joshi, who has really chosen Virenchi Hospital for their documentary film Brown Heart. Thanks a lot. It's an honor and privilege for us. Thanks to Pratik Bhattacharya, who has really brought even Nirmal Joshi for this Virenchi Hospital. Thanks to Satyanarayan garu, who is our Vice Chairman. Thanks to all the consultants, all my staff, and special thanks to all the media people who has really taken this much of time for this coverage. And thanks to all my staff, all my maintenance people who has really arranged, Parita and their team, Sunod and their team. Thanks for it's a grand success. We have arranged for the media people and the doctors, we have arranged a lunch party. Please, we will fifth floor. Fifth floor. Yeah, it's in the fifth floor. We will escort you. Some of our staff will escort you. Please come and have your lunch. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
విస్తృతంగా దీక్షా కంకణం కట్టుకుని ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా వారు స్వయంగా చిత్రాలు నిర్మించి ఈ వ్యాప్తికి కృషి చేస్తున్నారు. జోషి హెల్త్ కేర్ ఫౌండేషన్ అన్న సంస్థ ద్వారా వారు పెన్సిల్వేనియాలో చాలా అత్యున్నతమైన గవర్నమెంట్ పదవిలో కూడా ఉన్నారు. వారు ఆల్రెడీ అమెరికాలోను యూకేలోను కూడా ఈ బ్రౌన్ హార్ట్ అన్నటువంటి సినిమాని తీస్తున్నారు. దీని ముఖ్యోద్దేశం ఏంటంటే ఎక్కువగా సౌత్ ఏషియన్స్ అంటే భారతీయులు, పాకిస్తానీయులు, తర్వాత బంగ్లాదేశీయుల్లో హృద్రోగం 4 రెట్లు ఎక్కువగా వచ్చే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. అందులో యువతకు కూడా హృద్రోగం చాలా త్వరగా వస్తున్నందున దీని నివారణోపాయం ఏంటి, దీన్ని బారిన పడి విజయం సాధించిన వాళ్ళు ఎలా ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళ దగ్గర నుంచి మనం నేర్చుకోవాల్సింది ఏంటి అని చెప్పేసి చాలా విస్తృతంగా వారు పర్యటిస్తూ ఈ భారతదేశంలో డాక్టర్ ప్రతీక్ భట్నాగర్ గారిని ఎంచుకున్నారు. ప్రతీక్ భట్నాగర్ గారు చాలా ప్రపంచ ప్రఖ్యాతిగాంచిన హృద్రోగ శస్త్రచికిత్స నిపుణులు. వారు ప్రత్యేకంగా BIMA అనే పద్ధతి ద్వారా కాళ్ళ నుంచి కానీ చేతుల దగ్గర నుంచి కానీ రక్తనాళాలు తీయకుండా చాలా మినిమల్గా ఇన్వేజివ్గా చాలా చిన్న కట్ చేసి హార్ట్లోంచి చెస్ట్లోంచి ఆ రక్తనాళాలను తీసి మళ్ళీ గుండెకు అమర్చే విధానాన్ని వారు చాలా అత్యంత నైపుణ్యతని సాధించారు. వారు మన హాస్పిటల్ విరించి హాస్పిటల్లో డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ కార్డియాక్ సర్జరీకి చైర్మన్ అండ్ చీఫ్ కార్డియాక్ సర్జన్గా ఉన్నారు. వారి దగ్గర నుంచి వారి తాలూకు వృత్తి నైపుణ్యాన్ని, వారు ట్రీట్ చేసిన పేషెంట్స్ తాలూకు అనుభవాల్ని క్రోడీకరిస్తూ మన నిర్మల్ జోషి గారు ఇవాళ మన హాస్పిటల్ విరించి హాస్పిటల్లో ఈ చలనచిత్రాన్ని షూట్ చేశారు. ఇది నాన్ ప్రాఫిట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ జోషి హెల్త్ ఫౌండేషన్. ఈ క్రోడీకరించిన అనుభవాల చిత్రం బ్రౌన్ హార్ట్ అన్నది త్వరలోనే జూన్లో OTT ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్ ద్వారా విడుదలవుతుంది. మేము వీరు మమ్మల్ని మన హాస్పిటల్కి వచ్చి మన దగ్గర ఈ చలనచిత్రాన్ని షూట్ చేసుకుని డాక్టర్ ప్రతీక్ భట్నాగర్ గారి తాలూకా విస్తృతమైన అనుభవాల్ని అందులో చేర్చడం విరించి హాస్పిటల్స్కి తగిన చాలా గొప్ప గౌరవంగా భావిస్తాం.